Hi folks, and welcome back to the plot. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous spring evening here, and can you believe it has been the best part of 3 weeks since I last took you on a proper allotment tour, and time has flown by. There is absolutely loads and loads to update you on, and I've got a lot of stuff that I need to be doing. I was umming and ahhing, should this be a doing video or just a catch up, but we've got to take the time and have a good catch up because, like I say, hello Blackbird, there is so much that's been going on. Now, as you know, I didn't get off to the best start this year. I had that bad batch of compost that really set my seedlings back, and I've been super busy. I haven't really talked about this on the videos, but I have got so much on the go at the moment. For some reason, it's always May. May is like the busiest time in the garden, and for whatever reason, that's when we decide to start all these projects and give ourselves even less time. We've been decorating the house. I've spent a lot of time removing wallpaper, and hopefully this is the last round. I never want to see wallpaper ever again in my life. I've been gallivanting around, going on adventures to see these amazing growers like Liz Zorab and Chili Chomp, you know, who have these amazing YouTube channels. People who I've been fans of for a really long time, and that has just been, you know, so special, so great. And as well, another project, I've just found a greenhouse on Facebook Marketplace, which is just the best place for these kind of bargains sometimes. And the plan is that it's going to come to the allotment, and you will be seeing a lot of that, I'm sure. Hopefully you'll see it going up and all that kind of stuff. But that's what I'm doing at the evenings. I'm going along and dismantling it. So the work has been crazy as well. But the point is, I've not had much time, and I've kind of been focusing this year on just getting everything sown, you know, so I've been focusing less on the aesthetics and just getting everything sown. But that said, there are two things that have really helped me deal with the aesthetics. I mean, you guys know I've always had a scraggly plot. It's always been messy. But that's not really by choice. Normally that's just because I felt like I haven't had enough time. And so there's two main things that have made the difference this year. The first is the lawnmower, which I spent a lot of time talking about, but it is such a game changer. It's so easy to just keep on top of the grass. It stops it from all encroaching on the beds. And the other thing, which you might have noticed, is that I've started edging the beds, and it's a really quick and easy thing to do, but it has made such a difference. It really just defines the growing area and the paths in a weirdly revolutionary way. It makes weeding so much easier. It makes everything easier. And the other thing as well, I said two, but there's three. I did this change a very long time ago. You might remember this big bed in front of me used to be 3 separate beds, and they had kind of 2 grass paths down the middle. And I've always told myself I really liked the aesthetic of that, but it was a lot of work keeping on top of those grass paths and stopping them from constantly encroaching into the growing space and into the beds. So I dug them over, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it. You know, I was a bit uneasy. I thought I might miss it. But the truth is, it has been such a massive improvement. This big bed is so much easier to keep on top of. There's just so much less to worry about, and it's more growing space as well. You know, it's kind of like a win-win situation. So let's start the tour. And this first bed is, I mean, realistically, it's just potatoes. I've probably grown too many, and I have tried to squeeze a few other things in. Over here we've got some nice leeks that I've left to flower, and I really do enjoy doing that, and the pollinators seem to love it as well. And then just there we've got a line of onions. They seem to be doing pretty well. And down next door we've got the carrots. I'll show you some close-ups now. But yeah, carrots are not my thing. I do not have much luck. And as well on this plot, we get a weed, which is actually a really nice flower. It's called a fumitory. And it has leaves that look so much like a carrot. So down here, we've not had much good germination. Where this second board is though, I've just sown some more carrots, and I've actually used those pelleted seeds, which are meant to kind of retain moisture and really help germination. So we'll see how they go. And then just next door, this is kind of hard to see, but between the potatoes and this line of onions, I've tried direct sowing some pak choy, which you can see looks more like Swiss cheese than pak choy. And behind that, we've got a line of spinach as well, which, you know, it was just a bit over ambitious, I think. I just underestimated how quickly these potatoes were going to grow. So yeah, this first bed is really just too many potatoes, I think. We do have a little bit of space around the edge. We do have some calendula plants. So my plan was loosely to have this as more of a flower border, but we'll see. I have sowed some things. We'll see if they come up or not. But moving on to the rest of the plot, the onion bed is looking pretty good, pretty healthy. I have given this a weed recently, and you can see I've just started to edge this corner. I think what I'm going to have to do is use this for salads. I think this is going to be interplanted with my salad crops because I really don't have much other space in the beds for those. And you can see the broccoli plants here as well. These are still in, which is ridiculous. It is May now. These are more aphid than they are broccoli. They are absolutely covered in aphids. The reason that these are still in is because I really wanted to harvest my own purple spring broccoli seed, but this is too long to wait now. It's still taking a long time to ripen. I've noticed that a lot of these little seed pods are getting taken by the pigeons. So you can see that one's still got a few on there, but most of them don't. The pigeons clearly like these seeds as well. So what I've done is come along and kicked over this plant here. It took a little bit of doing, actually. It wasn't easy. These things are pretty robust, but I've kicked that down and now all of the seed pods are protected, and that means I can take out the other two. This third bed is currently its main inhabitant is this absolutely massive chard plant. I've just kind of let that go because I thought it looked so cool. And here we have an it looks like a weedy patch, but what this is mostly is calendula. This is self-seeded pot marigold. So I thought, you know, I didn't really have the heart to pull that out, so I've just kind of left that in for now. Behind that, we've sowed a load of stuff. I've got a line of radish, which look like they've mostly been eaten by slugs. Brilliant. And next door, I've sowed a load of beetroot. Not once, but twice. 2 lines of beetroot have gone in here and not yet germinated. So I'm not sure if they're just not going to turn up or what. But the rest of the bed, you can see this one is very neglected. This one is messy, and I'm going to have to do a bit of work in here before planting this with kind of squashes and cucumbers. That is the loose plan anyway. I wanted to sow some radish and some beetroot to get like a quick harvest. I was like, yeah, I'll get those in and get those out quick before I need to plant anything else. But you can see they've done barely anything, so not a successful gambit. But this is another bit that you can see I've started to edge, and it looks a bit messy at the moment, but it will come good. This chard plant is ridiculous. I just really enjoyed the stem, the weird and wacky stem that it had on it. And I cannot believe how high they get. This is taller than me now. And I mean, I am short, but that's still quite impressive, I think. Anyway, just next door, down here, the rhubarb that I put in, that is still hanging on. It's surviving really nicely. Good new growth on it. The peas. Well, this is a weird mixed bag, isn't it? This is such a mixed bag. This is the selection that I planted out first, and yeah, we've got some that are starting to grow up, but most of these have not thrived at all. There's one down here, which I guess this is the equivalent of bolting for a pea. Yeah, not too good. In the middle, we've got the bits that were kind of direct sown, and these are looking a lot healthier, a lot better, but still quite small. And then next to those, we've got the later sowing, and these are looking incredible, so much healthier. I do need to get in and kind of give these a bit of a stringing, so they've got a little more support. You can see I've just jammed in a load of random bamboo canes, and it seems to be holding them up. First time trying peas, I've definitely learned a few lessons, but to be honest, I'm not sure why these ones on the left failed and these ones on the right have done so much better, given that they were basically treated the same. It's just the ones on the right went in a little bit later. For the rest of the bed, you can see this is very weedy, but I have given it an edge, and I've got another crowd of onions. And I think what I'm going to do is plant maybe 1 or 2 cucumbers just to the side and try and trail those up the edge of this pea structure. And I'm going to do maybe a cucumber in there as well. And then the peas at the back are still yet to go in. And then we come to this part of the plot, which is quite chaotic at the moment. The strawberry bed is looking very healthy, and I've got a few little flower pots that are doing quite well. Up here, we've got the brassicas. I'm just kind of hardening them off, getting them used to life outside of the greenhouse. And as well down here, I've got a load of compost that I bought up. This is the Westland New Horizon peat-free compost, and it gets really mixed reviews. I mean, I've tried to use peat-free as best I can for many years now, and this New Horizon stuff has been around for a long time. I generally don't have a problem with it. You know, some of the reviews are really bad, some are really good. I think it's okay, you know, and it's a fairly good price, and I'm going to use this for seedlings and hopefully for my peppers as well. You know, this isn't for like mulching the beds or anything like that. I do not have enough money to just be chucking compost on the beds. But that said, it's coming up to past, and I am expecting literally any minute now, hopefully, I'm going to have a delivery of some horse manure. Now, this is very exciting because this is the 4th time I've organised a delivery to the allotment of manure. And every other time, people have just let me down, basically. They've not turned up, or they've just stopped replying to my messages or whatever. So that will be very nice to have as a mulch for the beds once it's broken down, or, you know, an additive to the compost and that kind of thing. Fingers crossed that arrives any moment. But the main thing I wanted to talk about this area is on Tony C. Smith's live stream every Monday night. Bring your garden questions and, you know, just join us for a very funny chat about gardening. It's very interesting, and people like to make jokes at my expense, which is very good fun. Because I'm not a very good gardener, as you might have noticed. So yeah, on the live stream we were talking about, you know, my lack of growing space. I was struggling, and Tony C. Smith said, well, you've got a load of grass and you've got a load of wasted space. Use it to grow some veg, man. Which is fair. I think that's a fair point. And this seating area, it gets very little use. The thing about it though is I can't put beds in here because it is just stone. The ground is just so much stone. And so I think this is where I'm going to put the second greenhouse. I'm going to use more as the potting greenhouse for seedlings and that kind of thing. Maybe some year-round stuff like melons or cucumbers, maybe some aubergines, some stuff I've never tried before. Be nice to have that extra space. And then the greenhouse behind me can just become the chili greenhouse. It can be dedicated. What always happens at this time of year is kind of mid-April is when I want to be bringing my chili peppers up and into the greenhouse. It's when they're going to really start to get to enjoy those daytime temperatures and all of that sun. But mid-April, I've always still got loads of stuff in the greenhouse. I've only just sown my curcubits. I've still normally got brassicas and lettuce and all the stuff that I'll show you in a second. And because it's all been set back, it means there is no space for the chilies at the moment. So it would be absolutely amazing if I could just sidestep that entire problem and just have a greenhouse that is dedicated to chili peppers. Let's have a look in the greenhouse at what is there at the moment. And this is where a lot of the really exciting updates are. The first is this. Look, there's no longer a gaping hole. I have replaced the glass in the roof. I will talk about that in detail at a later date because there's still a lot of changes I need to do with that and some things that I would like to show you, because let me tell you, it's far from perfect. There's another pane of glass down there for something that, like I say, I'll be talking about later. And above these benches, you can see the pea gutter, which doesn't have many peas in it, does it? Oh dear me. I wanted these to get off to a really good start before I planted them out. And I think what I've done is overwatered them. The peas in here are not happy. Now, there are some which are starting to germinate okay, but there are also some, like this one, which have gone a bit soft, let's say. They're completely rotten. I didn't put any drainage into this gutter. I've read mixed things, you know, some people say they do, some people say it's unnecessary. And everyone says, you know, your peas have to be really quite wet to germinate. And I think I might have overdone it a little bit. So that's a shame. The best thing to do is possibly just to plant this out as it is. I mean, they might get eaten by mice, but they're probably going to have a better chance outdoors than sat in this waterlogged gutter. Yeah, you know, it's a learning experience. First time doing peas, a bit of a shame, but hey ho. And down here, we've got some fantastic news. The sweet corn is germinating. Now, I've always wanted to grow sweet corn, but I've not really had the space. But I've got the pots. I've got the massive, massive pots this year, so I thought I'd trial some in pots. I had lots of friendly messages on Instagram after we discussed this on the live stream, and it's great, but but it is quite late. It's quite late for the sweet corn, and this isn't just any kind of sweet corn. This is popping corn. And the thing about popcorn is that you have to let it dry on the plant. So you need a really hot summer, and you know the plant needs to have time to do its thing and have set those cobs and the fruit. So you know, I don't have much hope for this, but we're going to give it a go. And just next door you see the amount of lettuce that I have. That this is kind of 2 or 3 in a pot. This all needs to go out, and I need to get it into the beds. And I'm so upset that we've not had any salad yet. I haven't taken a single salad crop. I said that 3 weeks ago, and that's still true of today. This is very exciting. This is my Sorrentes melon. Fantastic to see. Looking really strong, off to a good start. And then next door we've just got some nice little things. That's nothing urgent, that can just be repositioned. We've got some strawberries that I'll plant out at some point. Loads of brassicas, greyhound cabbage, Sibsy broccoli. We've got some more purple sprouting broccoli, some primo cabbage. There's all sorts, there's absolutely loads. And most of that is the same as what is outside. It's just I held some back just in case when I put the other stuff out to harden off, it died off. And guess what's just arrived? Hey, we finally did it. We finally got some manure for the allotment, which is very exciting. A silly thing to be excited about, but something I've wanted for such a long time. It's not exactly well rotted, but they didn't sell it as well rotted. So I'm thinking what I might do is get it into one of the compost bays. Now, suggestions in the comments, please. This one is full of mostly just browns. It's kind of stuff that filtered out of the compost, you know, that I sifted out. So I'm thinking I could load that bay with the browns and mix it in with the manure, and that would compost down quite nice. Yeah, is that a good idea, mixing the browns with the compost? I'm not sure. Answers on a postcard in the comments, please. But there's just a few more things to talk about in the greenhouse. The most exciting thing is the explosion of curcubits. I think these had only just started germinating when I last showed you, and they are looking really healthy. They're not quite at the stage yet either where they're completely root bound, so that's good, but I do need to get them out. Just next door we've got a little seed tray full of all sorts of greens. These are kind of lettuce. We've got some iceberg lettuce, some cut and come again. There's a few types of cabbage as well. We've got a Chinese cabbage and a Virtus Savoy cabbage as well. So I'm not too worried about that little seed tray. I can find space for that, but I do need to get the curcubits out. That's big on the to-do list. And down here, I've got my Transatlantic Melon Challenge melon seeds, which haven't, oh, they have. They look, we've got a little shoot. They have finally germinated. That took about 2 weeks. Jane kindly sent me some seeds for her Transatlantic Melon Challenge, which is fantastic. And those onions, I don't know what to do with. I might take them home and either grow them in the raised bed in the back garden or in a trough or something like that. So that is you guys just about all caught up. I am really excited about so many things at the moment. I've got something really exciting at home that I haven't told you about yet. I'm happy to have the glass in the greenhouse up here. Ta-da! Hooray! And I'm obviously very, very excited about the greenhouse, which should be arriving on the plot later this week. So you should see that very, very soon. But I've caught you up now, so really, I just need to start getting into the beds and planting stuff out. That's going to be my task this weekend. And then I've actually got a little bit of time off work, mostly to be painting, but hopefully that does mean I can spend some time at the allotment. Thank you ever so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.